Welcome to FineScale Modeler Weekly, where we have new model kits and exciting hobby-related products.
Let's start with a superhero car that most people will recognize right off the bat. The Polar Lights reissue of Batman's 1966 Batmobile.
This 1/25th scale snap assembly kit comes in 56 parts, is molded in black and chrome, and has printed Batwheel spinners for added detail. Unfortunately, Batman and Robin figures aren't included with this release.
The body comes in one piece and is pre-painted with Batman's insignia and iconic red pinstriping.
Starting with the interior, the build begins with the chassis. The floorboards, transmission tunnel, phone cord, bat phone, and gear shift make the interior take shape.
Keeping with the interior, the dashboard is next, with the door panels, fire extinguisher, extinguisher plate, rear cabin, lower lever, driver and passenger seats, and steering wheel to complete the interior construction.
Going to the wheels, 4 chrome-plated rims get inserted into 4 rubber tires. Pre-painted bat spinners are attached to the chrome rims, which in turn are pressed on the end of 2 metal axles.
Turning our attention to the exterior, rocket tubes are inserted into the rear deck, and the upper lever is attached to the canopy arch. Front headlights and taillights are inserted into the body assembly.
Front and rear grille pieces snap into the body assembly, as well as the jet exhaust. The front and rear canopies complete all major construction of the body.
After attaching the body to the chassis with 4 screws, final details include adding the front and rear roll pans to the body, inserting the beacon lens into the beacon, and attaching the antlers to the main assembly, with the antenna, license plate, and parachutes completing the build.
A decal sheet is included to add extra details to your build for the steering wheel, dashboard, fire extinguisher, and license plate.
Included with this release is an all-new Gotham City skyline cardboard backdrop to help display your finished Batmobile.
This is a great project for any modeler and fan of the classic 1966 Batman TV show, and is a bat-tastic way to either introduce a new modeler to the hobby or add to your existing collection.
Next up from ICM is the Insignia Patches and Vehicles Camouflage of the Armed Forces of Ukraine decal package that can be used with any 1/35th scale figure or vehicle.
The modern chevrons and patches of the Armed Forces of Ukraine are not just bright details of the uniform. They are elements with deep meaning. In addition to identifying service members, they embody the traditions and fighting spirit of the Army.
Ukrainian military chevrons, insignia, and patches have undergone significant transformation over the past 30 years, with the current designs and graphic elements beginning to emerge after 2014. This decal sheet consists of 4 unit badges for each unit and are arranged into the military branches, mechanical, motorized infantry, mountain assault tank, artillery brigades, airborne assault forces, Marine Corps, and more.
Military vehicles, in turn, feature a camouflage pattern that is unique to the Armed Forces of Ukraine, consisting of 2 types. The first, introduced around 2016, features digital squares in black, yellow, and brown colors. The second type, introduced in the summer of 2021, consists of pixel squares in 2 colors, sand and sagebrush. Both types are widely used in the Ukrainian Army for camouflaging various types of military equipment.
Also included is a printed sheet identifying every formation that has a patch in the set with names in both Ukrainian and English. Rank system of the shoulder boards, patches with flags of Ukraine, and various other patches are also on the sheet. A real Armed Forces of Ukraine woven patch is also included in the package.
This decal set is perfect for anyone planning to work on Ukrainian figures or military vehicle subjects. Casemate presents the Lockheed C-130 Hercules 96-page softcover book by Ben Skipper. This Flightcraft title offers modelers references and guides to build scale models of the Hercules.
Lockheed's ubiquitous C-130 Hercules was a product of combat experiences gained during the Korean War. First flown in August 1954, the C-130, powered by 4 turboprop engines, soon proved its worth as a highly versatile aircraft.
This book includes 245 profiles showcasing unique color schemes and markings. more than 150 contemporary color and black and white photographs, an informative history of the C-130's design, development, and career.
There are scores of color photographs of model kits built in all available scales with informative kit write-ups, a thorough study of aftermarket products, and showcased model builds to whet your appetite.
Enthusiasts and modelers alike will find a treasure trove of C-130 related insights. This book serves as a definitive guide enabling readers to recreate their versions of this highly successful and flexible aircraft.
Up next is the 1/144th scale P-3C Orion Turboprop anti-submarine and maritime surveillance aircraft from Ukrainian manufacturer FineScale. This is a kit with new parts added or replaced from the L-188A Electra that was released last October.
Starting with the all-new P-3 fuselage, it comes in halves with open passenger windows.
The new main wing is in 3 parts: the left upper main wing, the right upper main wing, and the lower main wing. Please be aware all control surfaces are molded into the wings. They are not separate.
Sprue D has been revised. The fin is in 2 parts with a molded-in rudder, and 4 parts make up the stabilizers. Rounding out the sprue is the cockpit tub with space for separate seats, instrument panel, and the rear bulkhead.
Carrying over from the Electra are the main landing gear bays, the inner and outer engine cowlings, and the engine bay doors.
Other details include 4 sets of Hamilton standard 54H60-77 propeller blades, magnetic anomaly detector boom, and 48-tube sonobuoy launcher.
You also get 4 AGM-84 harpoons and glass for the cockpit.
Included is 1 sheet of decals for marking 5 aircraft. U.S. Navy VP-16 Malta, September 2010. U.S. Navy VP-6 Barbers Point, USA, May 2015. Australia Air Force, Edinburgh, Australia, July 1987. Netherlands Navy, Linden Valkenburg, Netherlands, October 2001. And Japan Navy, Atsugi, Japan, June 1995.
The instructions provide paint callouts for Mr. Hobby, Tamiya, ICM, and Hataka.
Lastly, die-cut masks make painting easier. This kit has a large amount of detail in a small package. FineScale outdid themselves with everything they packed into it.
Look for reviews of the Polar Lights classic TV series Batmobile and FineScale's P-3C Orion at FineScale.com.
And head over to the shoptrains.com store for a great selection of tools, gifts, and books.
FineScale Modeler Weekly is brought to you by Hobby Zone USA, your source for hobby storage solutions, hard-to-find hobby tools, and aftermarket modeling needs.
As promised, we're going to talk a little bit more about hot wire cutters. Now, last week, if you hadn't watched that one, go back and watch it because we talked about the Proxxon Thermocut, the table hot wire cutter, and a couple of accessories that we have that go along with that. Today, we're going to talk about the Thermocut 650 and the Thermocut 12E. To me, these are really cool. These are like the lightsabers of hot wire cutters, and I'm really excited to show you what they can do. So let's just hop right in with the Thermocut 650. Obviously, we've got the electrical cord. You got your on-off switch here. You got your temperature control right there. This arm out here is on a spring tension, or this arm here ends in another arm that has a spring tension on it. This one is just stable. This one gives tension so that it pulls this wire nice and taut. If you remember from the table thermocut, there are some restrictions, right? There's only so much space that you've got to do your work in. This one, you can wield. It would really be useful for big dioramas. useful if you're working on like a model railroad layout or something of substantial size. You're going to be able to do a lot of foam cutting with this. Turn this thing on, and we'll go ahead and turn the heat on. You're just going to want to use even pressure. Now you can see that that wire is moving a little bit. So maybe I want to turn this up a smidge. Spring. I'm having too much fun, guys. Anyway, so, you can do freehand like that. Again, large areas. But there's something else that's cool about this. And let me turn this off. Remember, always, this thing gets up to like 400 degrees Celsius. So you're not going to want to touch it with your hands, right? So be careful with it. But what's neat is it comes with this little clamp. So this clamps to your workbench, and maybe you've got a piece of foam that's really blocky. It's not practical to cut on something like the Thermocut table, but instead what you have is a lot of room here with the 650 to do your work, right? So let's just go ahead and I'm just gonna make a cut here. Let's do it like this. And you can really use all of that space. Bing. That is really cool. The other handheld hot wire cutter that I wanted to share with you guys is the Thermocut 12E. And what makes this different from, say, the 650 is, remember, the 650 has, just like the Thermocut table cutter, it's a very thin wire, right? And it's very taut, very straight all the time. The wires that come with the 12E are substantially thicker. And the reason for this is that you're able to shape these wires into whatever shape that you want, and they'll retain it. So, for instance, we'll take this one and we can shape it to, I don't know, let's just shape it to this for grins. I wanted something that was, I don't know, almost square, right? So you can do that, and you can see how easily shaped that wire is. Bendable. I mean, you could straighten it out too, but it retains its shape. And I've already shaped a wire and inserted it into the 12E. So just some things about the 12E's control. Remember, with the 650, you just turn it on and you go. The 12E controls, you've got your thermostat down here, but it heats the wire when you pull the trigger. Pull the trigger, wire heats up, and then you start going. The other thing is that you do need for this particular tool, you do need the Proxxon transformer for it to work. It doesn't have a plug that you can just go right into the outlet with. Now I can go ahead and I can use this to cut the foam, and it'll maintain that shape, which is really neat. Hot wire cutters are a cool tool, and you might not need them at your workbench, but boy, when you do need one, you're going to be happy that you've got it. Back in April, FSM went to the Roscoe Turner Invitational out in Lebanon, Indiana, and we took video of nearly 600 models that were on the tables. We also shot a bunch of photos, which you can see in the link below. So take a look at this video, enjoy what was there, and I'm gonna try to feel better. You guys feel better, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Die-cut masks make painting.
Sorry, am I crossing out?
Getting into the kit, we start off. Excuse me, frog and throat.
From you can't you.
Ukrainian.
You can't.
It's a very thin wire. Ooh.